You're now listening to the Palmetto Dugout Show, hosted by State Director Sammy Esposito, Associate Scouts Drew Stewart and Sean Smith, that discuss all things related to amateur baseball in South Carolina. Here are your hosts.
Welcome into episode 28 of the Palmetto Dugout Show. I'm Drew Stewart here with Sammy Esposito. What's going on, Coach?
Coach, how we doing? Good weekend.
Good
Monday. Weekend. I saw you're out floating around, catching some videos for some future Player of the Year candidates that are now in college. So,
hey, great seats. Now I had to zoom in at 9 times on the phone, but I guess that's the perks of having a good phone. You get that great magnification. They got to see a first collegiate hit and got it on video, Coach.
Coach, that's big time.
PBR's everywhere.
That's why PBR's everywhere. That's why you're up there as one of the best photographers of all time, PBR history.
Josh might have me edge there, but hey, all right. Coach, guess what? It's game week in South Carolina.
Game week. A lot of excitement floating around. A bunch of scrimmages going on, but a lot of teams start up this weekend, and those wins and losses get real.
That's right. We got 2 big preseason tournaments that PBR South Carolina will both be in attendance for, and that is our Steve Sanders preseason tournament up in Spartanburg, with 4 host sites being Burns, Chapman. I'm trying to remember this off the top of my head here. Broome and Duncan Park. So 4 really nice host sites going on, and we also have that Emerald Classic, which I'll be in attendance towards the back end of that tournament. But we'll have a graphic release this week as well as some of those top games. We'll kind of jump into some of those top games. In the Emerald Classic, you got Belton Honeypath taking on number 18 Lawrence. Coach Williams is last year, Coach.
How about that?
It's crazy.
I guess it comes to an end for all of us at some point in time, but he's been doing it for a long time and has won a lot of games and produced a lot of great ball players up there at BHP.
He's got a lot of rings over there too, as well.
A lot of rings, and he even made up for the year or so that he had a questionable assistant on staff. I think somebody that might be on this call. I don't know, maybe somebody who's now in charge of Stewie Media, but that's probably one of his bigger successes out there.
You hired me, yeah, you're right. That's the bigger success. Oh, yeah. Wish Coach Williams best of luck. Can't wait to see him here soon as high school season rolls around. That'll be a big game. Then jumping over to Steve Sanders, you've got the Mauled Mavs taking on Spartanburg Vikings over there at Duncan Park. It's always a competitive game. 2 rivals in that area. So that'll be another good one. Then you got number 16 Chapman taking on Bowling Springs. Chapman has high expectations this year. Bowling Springs lost a little bit from last year, as we know, with Tristan Smith, but think they'll reload here, and we'll see what they have early, Coach. That's on the 25th. Mr. Stewart will be in attendance for that game. Stewie Media.
Stewie Media coming in hot.
Ready to roll.
Obviously, these beginning of the season preseason tournaments are always excited. A lot of these programs get a chance to take on some really good competition, whether it's out of area or, for a lot of these, Steve Sanders teams, it's a lot of, teams that are in the similar area, but maybe they don't play them during the year or whatever it is, but it's a lot of excitement to get going. And, and for us, it gets nice because you can see, great matchups. You can see, maybe a good pitcher matchup against, big hitter. I know last year you saw Tristan Smith up there along with every MLB team facing, and you get to see, some hitters face off against those guys when you're trying to evaluate them. That goes a long way. That was like last year with us. You're talking about Nathan Hall, watching him in the nature cam early on against a bunch of those arms, and you can really get a true feel, a true evaluation of what kind of hitter he is.
Yeah, no doubt. It's always fun to see those guys, especially that early in the season, and then catch them at the end.
Warm.
Hey, it's going to be really cold Saturday, so I'm just mentally preparing myself for that. Last time I went to Chapman High School last year on a Saturday for that tournament, I think I lost about 3 fingers to frostbite, but we're gonna get through this one.
Hot hands. Sponsorship. You never know. Hot hands, go out there and buy them, keep yourself warm.
Mr. Buddy Heater. We can take that sponsorship as well.
they make these things now. You can stick them to your chest and warm your whole body up. So I mean, things have come a long way. Come a long way. Anything to keep PBR scouts comfortable in the attendance of the game.
Yeah, we got to keep those guys comfortable, especially the Stewie media person. So I don't know. I might not need any warming devices, Coach, since I'm running around anyway. But hey, we'll see.
Hey, for all of our awesome listeners out there, if you see our boy Austin Smith running around out there too as well, he'll be running around. Don't be afraid to say hello. Don't say hello too much because he might talk too much and not cover any game. But don't be afraid to say hello to him out there.
Hey, he'll be at Broome High School on Friday night, and then he'll be at Duncan Park Saturday and Monday. So make sure you say hey to him. Very, very sociable, personable man. Loves to talk. So, hey, we got a game here with Blue Ridge at Burns, Coach. Another two big teams. Blue Ridge returns two arms that were pretty good last year for them in Camerata and Mason Tompkins. And the Rebels, they got another arm as well.
Caden Roach throwing it off. It's going to be a big time. Yeah, we're assuming those two kind of frontline arms going to be thrown that Friday night. Be a lot of you wouldn't assume the ball is going to be flying too much out of the park, but obviously those guys can all swing the bat as well. So it's good lineup for Blue Ridge with some arm strength there at Burns. So it'll be fun to watch those guys toe it up. 8:00 Friday night under the lights.
Watch out. Watch out. Might be really cold at 8:00. Might be stuck in an igloo somewhere.
Watch out for them heaters in, boys.
That'll make you feel good to start the season. Hey, and then the 28th, broken fingers. The 28th is another game I'll be at. I will make that BHP and Lawrence game. But the 28th, we have Emerald and Abbeville, Coach. Two smaller programs, but we talked about Emerald and all the talent we've seen with those guys at previous events. It's going to be fun to watch them. We know Abbeville is always good each year. So it's
two all kind of under the radar a little bit, right? Like not getting a ton of the pub because, like you said, a little bit smaller doesn't mean they're not talented. They're not good. So a lot of it'll be. And I think somebody, it wasn't me, so I can't claim this. I think somebody.
Abbeville is my sleeper, Coach.
Wait a minute. Now that's what I thought. I mean, I thought somebody on this call and it wasn't myself. Maybe took Abbeville as a sleeper.
Watch out now.
Watch out. Coming in hot. We'll see. Hey, we'll find out early how good your sleeper is. Obviously, a lot of ball to play left, but
a lot of ball. And then we've got a town you just passed through, Coach, is going to take on Lawrence on the 24th on a Friday night. The Clinton, thanks to Red Devils, right?
Red Devils, yeah. Better get that right. They'll come in hot on the Instagram at us if we don't get that one right. So
yeah, we got to get that right. Clinton Red Devils taking on Lawrence. That'll be a good one. Clinton very competitive last year with Wilson Wages.
Yeah, made a big run too. Made a run last year in the playoffs.
Yes, they did. Won that region, Coach.
Yeah, they did. So they're going to be looking to do it again, looking for more action. So I know we've gotten some people asking us about our picks for them, but we're high on those guys. We think Clinton's a good ball club and going to have a chance to make another run.
Clinton, very good ball club with the best RBs in the state.
Hey, great QT up there too. Gas was 280 this morning. Got it at 280. QT, so sponsor. So it's good area up there. Good ball.
Hey, great area. Pass through there too much. So we got two more games left here. We got Greenville Red Raiders, Coach, taking on the Malden Mavs. Be interesting to see when Taylor Rabe will throw in that preseason tournament. But that's another big matchup with two rivals that are not very far from each other.
No, right down the road with two good coaches that run great programs. So it'll be those guys are, whether they got the high end talent or not, they're always well coached and always, do things the right way and play the right way. So those two guys will be fun to watch early on, those teams.
Coach Austin Smith will be in attendance for that game.
Watch out now.
Greatest content you'll ever see.
Twitter fingers going to be flying that night.
Oh, yeah. Big time. And then our last little top game here is Broome with Coach Waddle. Taking on the Union County Yellow Jackets with Coach Kills. Two legend coaches going at it against each other. Very unorthodox guys, let's just put it that way. But two great guys nonetheless. We've seen various Union County players come to events as well as some Broome guys. It'll be interesting to see those two teams match up.
No doubt. And, you're talking about the coaches. Obviously, Coach Waddle's been bounced around and has had a ton of success where he's been. And Coach Keels, he has, probably his claim to fame might be the Richburg Rocket. When it's all said and done, I know he's had a lot of great players come and go, and he's going to continue to have some, but probably the Richburg Rocket. If anybody out there knows who we're alluding to on that one, that might be his number one player of all time.
Hey, with a name like that, it's got to be like at the very top of the list, Coach. I mean, why would you have that name if you aren't the best, right?
It's a great point. I mean, it's a great point.
It's one of those fast rockets, and like Austin Smith says, calls it a slow rocket. So hey, those are our big games of the week here, game week in the high school league. As we get ready for the Shipyard PBR Showdown, we'll have more games of the week coming up next week with some huge tournaments, Nature Chem, our tournament, the IP, some big ones going on. So let's jump over to new segment, Coach, PBR South Carolina Bomb Squad segment.
Bomb Squad.
So it proves that if you use the hashtag on Twitter, you get to be on the podcast, right, Coach?
That's correct. They're correct. They hashtag us with the PBR SC Bomb Squad. They get a little podcast love with a little bit more social media love with that.
That's right. And we're going to go over two because we missed last week's. That would be Stewie Media's fault. So our first one from last week is James Mihalis, 2023 from JL Man High School. You'll see the video here right now, but hits a nuke right here. So just pay attention to this bomb.
James, big time power. He's come to a handful of events and shown some power. So it's good to see him launch some balls out in games.
Yeah, no doubt. I get to see him. We'll get to see him here very soon. I think they're down. Correct me. Where are they playing in preseason? I can't remember, Coach. You remember?
Can't remember.
I think it's somewhere good, but but LS with the first PBR South Carolina Bomb Squad. Then our second one this week, none other than Elijah Tiller, 2023 catcher from Greenwood High School, over there with Coach Baker, and they're going to have a good squad. But Elijah, a lot of power, right, Coach?
Big time power. We've seen him. You've seen him quite a bit. Getting a chance to coach him a little bit, but we've seen him in numerous games. So it's big time pop, big time power, and we're looking forward to watch him again, obviously this spring, and see what shakes out for him in the commitment world.
Yeah, I think he had about 10 to 12 home runs last year, Coach. Let's see if he can match
that.
Not
too shabby. Let's see. Maybe, we might jinx him and he might try to do a little bit more, but it's okay. It's okay.
Hey, maybe he'll take some of those arms deep down there to IP Classic. We'll see.
Short porch, some part over there, so you might be able to launch a few out.
Watch out now.
Coming in hot.
So, hey, we got preseason All-State North and South pictures are going out here. South has been completely released, so go check out Twitter. The link's up. North should be up right now as this podcast is out. So make sure you see that link too and get all your pictures that you need. And the various high school baseball games we attend will also have pictures on that link as well that will be tweeted out. So we also got something else coming out this week, some high school previews. You've seen the Shipyard team previews come out here throughout the week, and they'll continue until March the 2nd when it's game day, Coach.
Game day, Shipyard. Let's go. Rolling in hot. We'll be rolling in deep, ready to watch some good baseball. Yeah, a bunch of previews going to be getting released here over the week. And obviously, like you said, with the teams at the Shipyard that are going to be playing down there, but also, the high schools that have filled out the preseason preview. We're going to start releasing those this week. And then also on top of those releases, inside that release, if these schools did any preseason preview podcasts with us, we'll have the link to that podcast as well in there. So you'll be able to, not only read about what the coaches have talked about their program, but you also get to listen to them explain to us how good they're going to
You
be
get to
this
listen to
upcoming
them
year.
and our beautiful
Yeah.
voices.
Yeah. So more importantly, it's probably more about us, but it's okay. We'll we'll be able to tag that in there, so you'll one-stop shop to get all the top-notch action here in the state.
Hey, best action in the state.
To the
We
top.
also, I think we got some other spotlights coming up this week, right, Coach?
We do. We're going to get back on spotlights for the preseason All-State North and South events. We're upper class and underclass from each event. So we'll get two going out on Tuesday and two going out on Thursday. So we'll look into some guys that performed and caught our eye last, over those events. Last week we did kind of more position players. This week, kind of some arms from each of those events. So we'll kind of bounce back and forth and look into the high level talent that was there.
Yeah, no doubt. A lot of talent in both events.
Both.
Hey, this is a short podcast, Coach, but I'm just going to throw you. I'm just going to throw you some questions here. This is Coach has no clue, Coach.
None at all.
All right, as you know, Division I baseball started this weekend with some teams having some sweeps, some teams playing some very competitive games. Coach, what's your biggest takeaway from weekend number one?
The biggest one is I think just the excitement, right? I mean, everybody's excited to get college baseball back, Division I college baseball back going. I know there's some fired up fan bases here in the state, a lot of renewed energy and excitement for, I say, the two so-called big programs here in the state. Coach Holbrook had a huge win on Friday night, upset College of Charleston. Clemson and South Carolina both took care of business against opponents they probably should have taken care of business from, but they won and had sweeps. Coastal Carolina got some wins down there in their tournament as well. And then Wofford, the Terriers. My son was in attendance for a couple of those games.
On Saturday.
Walk off, yep, and was able to watch those games. So a lot of teams, Winthrop got took care of business, got a sweep. So a lot of Charleston Southern, they didn't, they showed well. I mean, I know the scores weren't great, but they go down and play the tough Gators down there in Florida. But a lot of excitement, right? It's a great time of year to get out there and watch some college baseball.
That's right. It was very exciting Friday and Sunday for me as well. I was at a game. Just had a game. But hey, baseball is back. We got some Clemson and Carolina both have a different opponent this next weekend, and then we'll be in Charleston. But the rivalry continues. I think it's the 3rd through the 5th, Coach.
Yeah, and obviously most of our illustrious fan base here are South Carolina people, but it's not even arguably. To me, it's the greatest rivalry in college baseball, right? I mean, it pits two opponents against each other. Whether you're a fan of either team or not, it's very similar programs. I got a very similar history and tradition. One's lacking the national championship, one's not. But it's very, historically, right. It's up there with the best, and you pack out 3 different venues over 3 different days. And, it's one thing unless you ever get a chance to be around it or sit in, be at a game, it's something that's special, and it's something that those players and coaches will remember for the rest of their lives. Whether it's good or bad. I mean, it's a lot.
Whether it's good or bad.
You remember certain things about it, but it's obviously, like you said, the rivalry, the excitement. It's it's only good if you win when it's all said and done with it.
Rivalry's got a little different spice to it this year, Coach.
Ooh, there's a little switch in the dugouts, Coach. A little switch in the dugouts.
It's got a little spice to it.
Hey, where's that Friday night game at this year, Coach? Is that in?
It's in Tiger Town.
Tiger Town, right?
Woo!
Coach Lee coming back home. Watch out now. I mean, good. Hey, the dugouts extend a little bit, so he can't hide in there. I know he coaches in the dugout.
There's probably going to be some words that are said that are probably not in the dictionary.
Is that a knock at the Clemson area or the?
Wow, yes, a knock in every area. Hey. It's gonna be, you switch sides, people are gonna call you words you never heard.
No doubt. I mean, he obviously spent 7-8 years up there in Clemson, and
yeah,
did a lot of good. So it'll be interesting to see how how the homecoming is for them come Friday. Hey, you don't usually see that. I don't care what sport it is. You don't see that too often, right? You don't see a coach going from, what the last one was football with Brad Scott, was it?
Yep.
Way back in the day. So it'll be an interesting one. Now they got some more games to take care of before they get there. So we'll see.
They do. They got the Eagles also, Tuesday.
Yeah. Hey, don't sleep. Don't sleep on them. Don't sleep. You never know. Hey, we're up there. We host an event up there. So it'll be good to see what happens. Hey, big, let's keep our fingers crossed. We're looking to have a big guest to the podcast next week. So we're looking to bring somebody who runs this whole business into the fold. So the head honcho. We'll see. We'll keep our fingers crossed. I'll reach out. We'll make sure we get them on. So it'll be, kind of learn about the whole brand of PBR and how, where it started, how it started, and what it's become, the giant monster it's become today across the country.
Yeah, we'll let Sammy do the interview since he's so great at these things.
Yeah, this is, I should have been doing this from day one of my life, I guess.
Yeah, right? I don't know what you've been doing your whole life. You should have been doing this.
Damn right.
Hey, Coach, I think that does a short little podcast here. Nothing big.
Short and sweet. Game week. Hey, ready to go. I know the players are fired up. The coaches are fired up. So it's, everybody, right? You look around the state, junior college opened up, Division II's opened up, Division I's opened up. Now it's high school time. High school. Our bread and butter ready to roll. So I know ain't nothing, no more excitement for those guys. They're ready to get going.
That's right. Hey, you'll see various signs at games throughout that we are attending. Make sure to scan those QR codes on those signs. Give us a follow on all of those social media accounts. And hey, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel here down below. We're almost at 100, so let's get it there. But hey, to the top.
To the top.
From all of us here at PBR South Carolina, have a great game week.